All right, let's see if we can get a signal to the Bat Cave, as is tradition here. And we are live. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you might be. Welcome back to another Jedi Academy, the stream where we do nothing but answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The mobile game brought to you by Capital Game. I'm your man with the plan, your host with the most, Ranger J 1999, who will bring you all this fun today and welcome you into another Saturday. We were off last Saturday because we were doing the charity stream. If you don't know, we helped raise $16,000 for the American Cancer Society last Saturday. So it's all large due in part to you wonderful and amazing folks. But we are back. So after a brief hiatus of my travels to Florida, we are back. I will get into how the stream works in a second and everything else. Apologies ahead of time. I am a little cruddy right now. What I thought was allergies is not. It's some kind of sinus infection. I don't have a fever or anything, but the sad part is, though, I'm constantly congested, I'm constantly sneezing, and I'm constantly got water coming out of my eyes. There's not much I can do about it. I've taken some stuff for it. It's just got to run its course, so. But, these things happen, what can you do? But anyway,
It's
listen,
that time of
Juice.
year.
Yeah, it really is. So let's introduce our wonderful panelists, and I'm sure we'll get more as they come along. We've got that big country Viking BCM right there, boy, I tell you.
Oh, y'all.
Scholar,
Happy
everybody.
morning. Good morning. Saturday morning ish.
Sure
It's
is.
early.
It sure is, boy, I'll tell you what. And also joining us all the way down from the beach, hanging out and drinking the rum, the Aldous Sandfly be joining us.
Good day, good day, good day, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, wherever you are in the world.
Will you be in
Good afternoon.
Scotland?
Yeah.
A lot of
I'm talking, yes, I'm in the afternoon. We're 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
time
Just
for
getting
afternoon
into
tea. What's a good time for afternoon tea? 2 o'clock.
afternoon drinking. It's Saturday afternoon.
I didn't say
Okay.
I didn't say alcoholic drinking and problems. I said when's a good time over there for afternoon tea? Like what's a good time for tea time?
He's Scottish, not British.
Well, they all
Yeah,
drink.
well,
They all drink bloody tea. Get out of here.
It's a Saturday. We drink around now, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., just before the
That's
football
what.
starts.
That's what it's. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, right? That makes sense.
No,
Right?
in fact,
Yeah.
afternoon tea would be about 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't-
Oh, no. Football's being
Not
played in
Scottish.
Germany
It's not.
this morning.
Yeah, it's not a Scottish
Or
concept.
tomorrow morning.
So okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit of afternoon tea for everybody over in jolly old England, Scotland, and Ireland. Fine Ireland. So if you're new to the show, the way this works is we have a bunch of idiots on here, myself included among them, and we are and content creators, guess whatever, and we are going to have we're going to answer your questions. It's pretty simple. You have questions, we try to give you the best answer we can. This is a straight Q&A show, so. Give your greeting in the chat, say hi to everybody, say hi to us. But the most important thing is to get your questions in. So if you have a question you want to pose to us, make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. Get that into the chat, and we will get that scooped up. But that's the easiest way for me to catch your questions is to follow that format. Of course, since you're watching the stream over here on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. We say it a million times, but it does help with the algorithm. We don't make much on YouTube, but what we make is due to all the interaction with you guys. So please feel free to do that as much as humanly possible. All right, before we get into questions, start doing all that stuff. A lot of fun yesterday. I did the Behind You stream yesterday. I'm a man of my word. I did the shoeies. And I did a third shoey just because I'm an idiot. I got talked into that crap. As I was running around and or doing I was spitting when I was drinking the shoey, the third one. I must say, Foster's is just basically gasoline. That is the nastiest shit. No matter how many times I drink it, it is just pure garbage. Oh, and that's what makes it so bad. And it's just the taste afterwards. I couldn't stop burping. It just kept coming and coming. I can't stand that shit. But for charity, I'll drink a 6-pack. That's just my mentality. But big shout out to Heinzie and everybody from the Heinzie crew and everybody. A lot of fun last night. We lived up to our obligations for what we did for the charity stream. And thank you to everybody for that. Today we're going to do the Jedi Academy. I'm going to go right into GAC right after we get done with this stream. Knock that out real quick. That's going to be over on Twitch. And then I've got to get the rest of my lore stuff ready because we are going to be recording a lore video for you guys today and having a lot of fun getting that out there for you guys. I said I would promise we get close to our Patreon goal. We would do the lore series, and we were going to do that. Now, if you would like to be a part of having some insight on the lore series, on top of getting it earlier than everybody else, think about becoming a Patreon. We're doing our big Patreon push because, well, YouTube sucks butt. You don't make a lot of money. You don't make much doing YouTube, so offset the cost. Now we're going to be doing it bi-weekly. That being said, if we get over $1,000 in Patreons, then I will move that to weekly. But we got to get to that number first. So if you'd like to become a Patreon, there you go. $5 a month, and you do that. And it'll be Star Wars Lore with Idiots, and it's going to be myself, Ram Bam, Kashmir, and the big Clayton Karthik, doing that. And it's going to be a little different spin on doing lore. And you'll just have to wait and see. And I'm not going to tell you what we're doing first on the lore, or who we're doing first on the lore. You'll just have to wait and see. But if you're a Patreon, you get to not only have insight of, we'll bring up topics and you guys can discuss and give us some ideas of what you would like to hear, but you also get to hear it first off. And then not only that, but you get your own channel in the Discord, and you get when I'm doing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, you can get a mini roster review whenever I'm streaming. So good stuff all around. Anything else? I think that's it for the news and notes. Tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football, I'll be joining you guys. I'll be in the Discord to try to watch some Sunday Night Football with you guys. So NFL football, not suka. Not football. Anything else? No, I can't think of anything else. Anything news or notes or anything like that? No, Scott. No, I can't think of anything else. No. So, but yes, and thank everybody for the well wishes for me and BCM yesterday, because it was Veterans Day yesterday. So thank you guys very much. It was very much appreciated. But yeah, get your questions in, get your greetings in. I can see Cashmere's in there. Epic Fails is in there. Get your coffee, indeed. Ray Rock, Helenix, of course, Helly's in there. Oh, it's going to be a long day. Slartbert there says, I've been on a live stream for some weeks. Happy to see you keep the lights up for this great show. We will always try to do the best we can. Unless it like the holidays, Christmas is on the weekend coming up. There's going to be back-to-back weeks at the end of December. There ain't going to be no Jedi Academy. Sorry, I'm just not doing it on Christmas, and I'm not doing it on New Year's. So sorry. Sorry, no. I like to spend time with the family and stuff, that kind of thing. All right, Nathan H is coming in, Dark Side. So yeah, get your greetings in, get your questions in. There's the question right now. Hey, right off the bat, crew, let's go. All right, panel, here we go. Question: please explain briefly Jabba's kit to me. Well, Jabba the Hutt's in the game, and he has a kit, and it does a lot of things. How much time do we have here? I mean, I don't have Jabba.
Long
I don't think anybody
short.
here has Jabba unlocked, do we?
No, I don't.
But we did. We did have Clayton on, as we always do.
Basically, it's Utini 2.0.
Yeah. The big thing about Jabba is just about the thermals and the damage output. For the other characters, Jabba, on the other hand, you want him to get to ultimate as quickly as possible, so he's gobbling up other people, right? So you want a ton of speed on him as fast as possible and tons of health. You want him a thick slug because he's got all those abilities and things that allow him to get that protection and health and all that stuff. So you want him to be beefy and things. So if Clayton gets on today, I'll get a better understanding of his kit, because we've gone through it, but like the he has it and uses it, but he would know a little bit better than we would. Because Aldous, I don't think you got Jabba yet, do you?
No.
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 I don't know,
but I think you pretty much covered it. It's it wrecks the light side GLs. It's just a new thing.
I like how I like how he's balanced with that. Dark side can kick his ass, but he can kick the shit out of light side. He's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, but it has. But I mean, like, I think I don't know if the question was serious or not, but it is unnecessarily complicated kit with so many sub clauses.
Yeah.
And post clauses in it. That it's going to cause a problem in the future for so many other things because it's just trying to create a whole other. A whole lot. It doesn't really have the opposite to it at the moment. I think some of the other GLs were launched in pairs where one would kind of be the opposite of the other. Creating the opposite of this is going to be bizarre, but no, I think
Lord
I think
Vader
covered it.
Lord Vader's is his opposite. Lord Vader destroys Jabba. Just no.
I mean, it's quite good because again, it's a move to that rock paper scissors kind of meta that kind of people want. Which is kind of healthy for the game to have something that will destroy the light side, but is terrible to dark side, which I guess is kind of, but it does have so many conclusions in it and so many kind of sub clauses and that it's a bit nonsense.
Man.
But it's fun.
But yeah, when you get down to it, it's just about damage thermals and him surviving and getting to ultimate as quickly as possible. That's the easiest way I understand the kit. The extra abilities.
That's what I understood it was.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where Jabba eventually ends up in the meta because, I mean, obviously at the moment they're pushing the Heart Cartel in various game modes and they're making Jabba kind of get some value back, but he really doesn't need the number of relics that Lord Vader needs. So if you look at it purely like that, then they'll leave Lord Vader as being the top GL, and actually you would think Jabba might actually fall in maybe 4th or 5th into their area of priority because of, if you imagine a fresh player starting today that has none of GLs, you'll go for maybe Lord Vader first or GMK. He's not going to go for Jabba first.
Hell no, you wouldn't. That's awful. Don't do that, please.
Okay, no, yes, we'll go for S. But in like if it was a completely across the board open choice.
If you had an open choice, and like there are some people that don't mind spending, it's not so much a spending thing with those guys. It's more of a cock block with some of the characters that are behind Get.
The Get too, yeah.
In the TV battle, so. But I think, but if you mean power rankings, I think Jabba's in the middle, right? I think he's in the middle.
Which is odd because I mean, with the power creep, they've always kind of made the new GL better. It's going to be odd. They've kind of launched Jabba, they're pushing him hard in all these Hutt cartels, but actually, probably in time, he's going to find himself 3rd or 4th. But he has a very obvious lifter unit.
Yeah, we haven't seen that sucker yet. So
which is probably maybe a year away. I hate fancy.
I don't know if it'll be a year away, but
or a year and a half, or So I can imagine he would then go from being the 4th or 4th to being the best. But it's an interesting meta.
It's gonna. It'll be Bib Fortuna and Bumblebee Tuna. But yeah, we'll see. But I mean, right now we're still playing around with Jabba. We're still trying to get our minds wrapped around where he's necessarily.
But he's super. Good. He's super. So apart from the incredibly low drop rate on Bush and Skiff Lando, which is just comedy low, that's kind of slowing everybody down. But people are just progressing slowly towards him.
You got time. The TBs is what he's mainly going to be needed for, and that's not coming anytime soon. And now I'm ahead of the curve because I get shipments.
Yeah, you've been buying the shards. Yeah, you've been doing the shards.
Yeah. I'm already.
Makes sense with these two.
Yeah, I do it. I would have done it anyway. I just, if the character comes out, then I'll farm it on top of using, getting character shards and stuff. But yeah, take your time with it. If you're working on Jabba, it's a Carbonti fest because there's a lot of older characters in there, and they will just eat your Carbontis up. You're going to need about 2,000 Carbontis, I think, roughly, to take all those characters up. The newer characters are not that bad, other than Chrysanthemum is a lot of Carbontis, but the other ones aren't as bad. But overall, with Gamorrean Guard, another tank, and other things like that, I'm getting there. I've got Gamorrean Guard and Mob Enforcer left to get to 12, and then I'm going to take everybody to Relic, and then we'll be good to go. So there we go. Nathan H. question. Please let Sinfly tell his speech story. No. Hell, next question for Ranger. Please let yourself be persuaded by Nathan's question. Really? No. Damn it. No. Damn it. It's not the way I want to be started Jedi Academy. Good Lord in heaven. Hell, next question for all this. I like your setup. The wall lights are cool. What brand are they?
These are leaf lights, aren't they? Or nano lights, leaf lights. I think, and you can change them to whatever you want. Look, you got
nice.
Boba Fett colors.
Oh,
there we go. They're Boba Fett. We can go red if we're doing red things. Yeah, quite cool. I think they're leaf lights. Leaf lights.
There
I
you
think.
go. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. I like that. Scribbles in the chat. Scribe, you want to come join us on the Academy? You're always welcome, brother. Just hit me up in Discord and I'll get you the link. He's probably doing La Familia stuff. All right. Excuse me. Ugh, this nastiness. Dothraki question. Now with recent changes, is Profanity a better first ship GL farm than Executor? Ooh. I'm going to say... Here's the thing.
It depends.
Remember, you have to get Jedi Knight Luke, I believe, for that, right? Again, blocked by Wampa and Hermit Yoda for that, to get Profundity. That's, again, if you... like.
The R9 Adrad is a huge problem.
That's a big one, too.
Yeah, the R9 is going to be stopped. At least the Executor, you only need R8s.
I mean, Executor is not really that relevant anymore. I mean, you look at the number of things that will counter it. So it's kind of, I mean, it is kind of that meta ship, but I think the Profundity is a lot harder to kill, and there's a lot less that will actually kill it. So I think
it's definitely meta. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
It depends how you're going to play it, but then the Executor does kind of beat it. So I think you need both of them. So
you do.
I think I would go Executor first and then Profundity, because if you whale and spend a fortune on Profundity, people will just beat you with their Executors or Tarkin Sith Bomb so it's not worth the inverted commas terrible term investment. It's not worth spending money on Profundity on its own, because if you don't have the others, then your ships will get destroyed anyway.
I'm looking at the journey guide. I'm pretty sure you need... Let me look at all the stuff you need for this. One Yeti, let's see here. I thought you needed Giant League, but I was wrong. Let me see. Admiral Radis, Cassian, Endor, Dash, Mon Mothma. The relic levels on these are pretty crazy. Biston, Jin, Harif, Relic 5. Then you have to have the ships to get it to 7 stars. Most of the ships are fine. You can get them easily. The only one that's going to be a tough one to get and farm is the Outrider. It's going to take you a minute unless you spend to get the ship shards for it. I mean, if you want to go for Profundity, I was thinking Jedi Luke was associated with that. It's not. So I made a boo-boo. The other thing that might change it. Sorry, Ranger.
We still have crystals in ship. Ship shards. That is something that we presume it's their intention to remove that at some point. Whilst they're still there, then maybe Profundity is a decent option, because it will mean you will be able to be higher up.
Yeah,
I think it's too risky for me.
I float below 20 in shard or in fleet arena with the Executor, so I don't move very far, so that's fine.
Yeah, I think if you want to go, if you can afford it, that Relic 9's a big one. Those Relic 8s and 7s for those characters are pretty tough, right? But if you, I can see Profundity being the play first if you can. I thought Jedi Luke for some reason was associated with
if you can get the Relic 9 mats, then Profundity. But if you can't, then I would stick
unless
Executor.
You're a big spender, go for all this is right. You got to go for Executor, because it can counter the Profundity, and it's still a meta ship, and it's still nasty to deal with. So
and it gets you gets you pieces for C, so it's all feeds into itself.
And you get your troopers and your bounty hunters just mixed in with those too, because it's going to get some of those pieces in there. Just overall, it's all tied in together, and it's a nice little early kind of meta thing to go for. You get C, you get the Executor, and then you get your troopers up. You start your troopers up and running, and your bounty hunters up and running, and those are some really decent factions to have. Hellenix, question for Mags: have you missed my ridiculous questions or what?
Well, Helly, I have. I don't think Ranger has, but I do. I missed you. I haven't seen you in a while.
What else in three's question? How long do you think it'll be before a solid amount of players, 10 to 25%, finally get Jabba unlocked? Looks like only a couple thousand have him unlocked currently. I think it's going to be a slow burn on that. I mean, I'm slow burning it. One, we had 3 characters, the Marquis, that did not go free to play until well after he came out. So beside those initial ones are people that welled on him. But now you have people that are now, like myself, that are in Aldous, and I don't know I know. Are you working on Jabba Aldous, or what are you working on right now?
I'm doing well. Profinity's almost finished for the 30th,
Okay.
and then Grand Inquisitor is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So and then I actually think Jabba the Hutt might be a skipped GL for a lot of people.
I don't think you can, because he's tied into the new TB.
Well, is he? I mean, so far, well, he probably is. Yeah. There is a neutral, yeah.
They already have,
probably is.
a lot of the Omicrons and TB and stuff with that. So yeah,
Grand Inquisitor might be more desired.
Yeah, he's definitely. They're both going to be needed, I think. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. These are the new things, and they're going to tie it in there. So absolutely.
And then the Grand Inquisitor will get Reva, which might. So I don't know. I think it's a very interesting question. I think if they don't launch another GL, then I think the answer to the question is probably about 4 months' time. If they do, then I think we might see some people kind of slow farm the Bushlaria and the Skiff Lando, and then just kind of, I don't know, see what else comes after it.
All right, Helenix, question for Ranger. Sorry, brother, but I was scolded for asking too many serious questions lately by an anonymous person who loves your channel. Are they wrong? Yes. I want their name. I'll deal with them, my friend. You're gonna ask your silly questions anyway, Helly. You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about here? Let's not play games. You're gonna ask what you're gonna ask, Helly. All right. So, all right. I mean, come on, buddy. Come on. Let's knock the nonsense off. Okay, here's the next question. Nathan H. question: is it possible to enjoy the game while ignoring Datacrons? Absolutely. You can't be as competitive. Yeah, and BCM's doing it. I mean, a lot of people are. They're just not bothered.
You're still competitive. You're just not as high a skill rating. I mean, I think this depends. I mean, the way that they have the matchmaking, you still will go 6 and 6. You will still have inverted commas competitive matches. What you might find though, without Datacrons, is that you get squashed one way and then get squashed the other way. Like you squash something because without having any Datacrons, I had somebody this morning that plays none on defense and clearly doesn't bother with threes that much, and therefore it looks like we'll probably win that one quite easily, but it wasn't necessarily a satisfying win. It wasn't like a competitive match. But I think it's a very, very long question about what is competitive anymore in GAC. Is skill rating anything more than just something you bought by gambling Datacrons? I mean, there's so much there, mods. There's so much in there that I think are kind of probably nuancing that question. But yeah, 100%, you can definitely enjoy it. 100%. Yeah, you just find a different level. You find the level that you are, and there's a lot of people who are not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I've said my piece about Datacrons. We're not going to get into that again. But I did do a match here about 2 weeks ago with Trevor Bio Gaming, and we didn't use any Datacrons, and it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun, just going through and just facing one another and just playing the game. But you have to understand, if you're going to if you want to be higher up in Kyber, you got to invest in Datacrons. There's just no way around it, because it's an arms race the higher you go. If not, then you can still do GAC. You're just going to drop for a little bit. You're going to lose a little bit of crystals overall because of where your placement in the different levels. But, as long as you can take that, yeah, you can still make the game fun. Absolutely.
And unless you were taking first every day in Squad Arena, you're still making way more crystals than you ever would. Yeah. We ever were before. I mean, I get massive amounts of crystals, and I'm nowhere near. I fell into rhodium a while ago, so
yeah. So, all right. Next question, Darsign 1972 question. I'm all ready for Grand Inquisitor return in December, and any money advice to help unlock him? Also have all of them Relic 5 and Ninth Sister at Relic 7. So will this be enough to get through the event? Yes. It's still RNG, Clayton had as shitty as RNG as I did, and he had his like 7 and 8, I think, when he went in there and did it. He had it high relic. I know his Night Sister, I think, was relic 8 or relic 9, and it's still an RNG fest. Modding advice is God mods, basically. I went in there with God mods. It's still this RNG. I had crazy good mods with crazy ridiculous speed, health, all that stuff. It's those middle battles, man. I mean, you can have the relics and stuff, but I mean, you start getting into like the Maul fight or the Ahsoka fight or the Grandmaster Yoda fight, and it just comes down to, because as you start going through that, you have to face Grand Inquisitor first, and it depends on how it goes with the RNG with him and how well your team is set up going into that final boss battle, because he can kill your characters. Even with all the God mods and stuff I had on, I would lose characters and would have to restart over because Grand Inquisitor would take out 1 or 2 of them. It's like, well, I can't go to the next round, so might as well restart. So go with your best mod sets. You're going to want, I'm trying to remember, as beefy as Night Sister as you can get, as much damage as you can get on, I think, Second Sister. 7th, you want as fast as possible because you want her taking turns and getting that stuff going and making her very beefy. Grand Inquisitor, I mean, yeah. So the modding is not the issue. It's just you have to be prepared for the RNG. Now, there are some videos out there that can kind of give you a heads up of what's going to happen and what you want to look for, but you still have to get the right RNG with it, and so... just prepare yourself. It's a gas light event, I would say. It's not gas level of frustration, but it's right below it, where you're just like, well, shit, I lost 2 Inquisitors on the first round. Let me just go back. The first and second fight are not bad, and the last fight against Kenobi is not bad. It's those middle fights that are just, oh boy, I don't know how else to put it. Those things are gross. Oh man. So for all you guys,
I think enjoy it. I mean, from what I've heard, I'm looking forward to it because actually, it forces you to learn the kits and the turn orders, and it forces you to kind of get a greater appreciation for the Inquisitors of the entire faction. So ultimately, once you've done it, then you actually feel better. But I don't think you spend relics on it. I think it is RNG.
Yeah, but it really is not. It's not about understanding the kit because I understand them quite well, but the turn order will get wonky and stuff, and because of the stuff that those bosses and the Grand Inquisitor does, because he starts putting higher stacks of purge on you with each round that you go up, and it just really throws everything off. Like you just. It's so weird. It's such a frustrating fight. But hopefully you get the right RNG. I know Gom did it in, I think, 2 hours because he watched us suffer through it because it took me 4.5 to get through it. But he still had that RNG. So it's just, you just got to stick with it. Put your best mods on. And if you get the bad RNG, just back out, go back into it again. So, and just, there's some videos out there of the fights and things. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Relic 7 on 9 Sister should be fine. Relic 5 through the rest should be fine. Just gotta get the right RNG. Just make that 9 Sister as beefy as hell. Because those fights, she's gotta live. So yeah, and then you just have to time your abilities. You sometimes you gotta get lucky with the RNG where you have to wait for an ability to use it because you want to get the stacks of purge before you use. 8th brother's ability or 5th brother's ability where you can get that stun off at the key time. It's just one of those things, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes the character's like, no, you die. There's nothing you can do about it. You're like, oh no, I'm double dead. Gappy question: now that Jabba has hit the boards, how have you found it? Have you faced any? How should we counter it? I've faced one so far. I haven't seen many Jabbas, as was previously mentioned. There's not a lot the people have got. That's mainly Upper Kyber.
I haven't seen one.
Yeah, I did face him. Went in there with I think. When did I go in there with SLKR, and I still took him down. But no, I haven't had enough experience with him. Have you faced any Aldous, any Jabbas?
I've not seen any, which is kind of odd. So I faced really high accounts that a lot. I think I faced 1 or 2, but I think they've had him on offense rather than defense. Strangely enough, but no, I think you're right. I think you're taking SLKR. But no, he's super rare. As actually is the Profundity. As well, these are a lot rarer maybe than previous inverted commas meta things that have launched. Profundity will get more and more common, but I'm surprised just how rare they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Fatality question. What is the most reliable team in 3v3 for beating Lord Vader? I'm sick of that Datacron. It depends on what the level 9, because they're all going to have the cooldown reduction, right? In 3v3, it depends. If he's got just the boost to his health and protection, you need to also look at the dodge and the deflection on that, because that really makes a big difference. Like what you can get away with. Does he have the fast ultimate? Does he have the offense gained every time? So you have to look at the Datacron individually. Thing that I'm using now, I was using Fennec before, but that Datacron's gone away, so I can't use Fennec, Bam, or Grieve. So what I've done is I've got a new Datacron, and you can do this without the Datacron SLKR, but you've got to go in there with Watt and armor. You've got to stack SLKR and then let him ramp up. It can be done. Outside of that, I mean, Hudson's saying JML depends on which Datacron he's got. If he's got that mastery, oh my god, he just keeps constantly just ability blocking you and just burning you down. But it depends. I mean, right now it's SLKR. The most reliable counter I've seen. And, I can't think of many other teams. JML's a possibility. No, just
I think the thing is that even if SLKR goes wrong, he tends to kill the 2 side ads.
Yeah, you can go in there with somebody else and clean him. He's still tough to beat though, 1v1 though. 1v3. He's still a nightmare.
You really need that. Like you say, you need that survivability. So almost it's a 2-tap where you take an SLKR first, and then you try and clean up a lone Lord Vader. It is a bit of a menace. This is the last. Is this the last one before we get rid of Lord Vader?
I think so. Yeah, next month should be a new Datacron. It's always that second GAC of the next round of GACs, I think, for Datacrons or whatever it is. I don't know. You got the new, I've got the SLKR Datacron, and we used it last round, and it absolutely crushed it. Like, I mean, that thing was incredible. So yeah, I'm looking forward to keep using that, because I've got health still on it. I've got health, and he's got the reflect thing where Vader, when he gets damage, he reflects 20% of it back at the person. So yeah, and I just ramp up I lose Watt, I lose armor, but yeah. Okay, Nelson, when is that? December 26th, Lord Vader Cron goes away. Well, whenever it goes away, it's here for a while, so we're just going to have to deal with it. But yeah, SLKR, depending on the team, I mean, JML might be able to do it. C ain't doing shit. JMK, we've seen time and time again, we've tried to use it, but he just ramps up, and that team just can't kill him fast enough, and it goes wonky. I don't know how Jabba does against him 3v3 if you do have a Jabba, which most of us don't, so we'll just leave him to the side. Rey, someone told me Rey with OG Kylo can do it with the tank, because of the way the Force diet thing works. You can keep getting your health and stuff back, and with Holdo in there, she's healing, constantly healing Rey, so and because of the special damage that Swallow does, he hits bloody hard, and if you can hit, he can do it too. I think someone told me so, but I haven't tried it yet. So yeah, Fatality. Get with the problem is Jabba. Vader's a hard counter to Jabba, so I don't think we're going to want to use Jabba against Lord Vader though. So. It may be different, but I don't think it's going to be any different on offense or defense with Jabba versus Lord Vader, because with the Datacron, he just spams that. He just cooldowns and just spamming the AoE, and that's like Jabba's kryptonite. So I don't think Jabba's the play there. But yeah, I wish I had better news for you, but options are limited when it comes to Lord Vader Kron. It is. Sorry, buddy.
I guess if you had a very high relic DACA, possibly you might be able to do it with the DACA zombie, and keep cleansing, which is the biggest problem. It's just having the cleanse of the. That's why obviously you need the water there. So without water, you need to cleanse on, but it is possible.
I just can't wait till this Datacron goes away so I can go back to I'm just going to harm Vader as much as possible when I see him with Fennec, because it's such a hard counter, and it's such a fun counter to use too. Oh.
I just think the problem is that we've now got Hellsteel back. So Lord Vader will just move to the next set type one. I mean, I'm already running Ray with a different one, and I think
Yeah,
Lord
I don't
Vader just
mind.
pick up a new
Yeah,
one, which
even when he had Hellsteel with the first Datacron set that came out, I could still kill him easily with Fennec. But this one with Hellsteel, but it's more the dodge and the deflections. That's why I ended up putting Actually on Fennec, which has helped. Um, it's nasty. It's just nasty. We just gotta power through it, guys. That's all we can do. Darth Elder question. Oh, Elder says, do you guys think the accelerated ship farms will ever be a thing? At this point, I have no idea, man. I don't understand that, man. I really don't. How can there be ships that are way older than a lot of characters that have come in after them and not be accelerated? Like, that blows my mind, man.
I
How
just think
can I
no.
be on the cancel and not be a master?
Take
unfair.
a seat, young Skywalker. Damn, you have to yell at me. No, I don't think it'll ever be a thing. Maybe they'll surprise us one day and say, hey, we're going to start doing ship accelerated farms, but I don't see it anytime in the future.
I mean, they might do it for some very old ships, but it's not going to be every ship that lasts a year suddenly goes unaccelerated. So they might put some of the really low grade stuff.
Possibly.
But no, there's certainly, I don't think it would ever, but it's just not, there's just not enough ships really to start giving them away twice as fast to new people.
All right, Helenix, next question says, serious question for the panel. I'm finishing an Imp Remnant squad. Gideon, Dark Trooper, Death Trooper, Stormtrooper, and Krennic. All abilities max and all at Relic 5. I'm planning on using them in GAC. For the panel, what do you think of this squad? I know I do silly things often, but max abilities at Relic 5, how do you rate that team? Will it trip up an opponent or two? No. You're going to get slaughtered. That team, that's why there's a reason why that team does not exist on the board ever. One, Iden exists, so a lot of those pieces move to the Iden team, which is a better team. And then the other pieces, especially with Dark Trooper, go to your normal Imperial Trooper team, which is dope as hell with Dark Trooper, Kassan Chop, and everybody. The Imperial Remnant, I think it's still missing one to make it really, I think, rounded out. But until another character comes out, I wouldn't use that in GAC. On offense, I don't know what the hell you would use that against. Maybe a weak team in the back. And on defense, you're just begging people to get free banners, dude. Because Krennic is trash. He just is. I'm sorry. He's nice with Death Trooper or Death Trooper, but man, there's so many teams that would go in there and just eat that shit alive. Gideon's nice because he's fast, but there's so many teams now that, God, Momo, Radis. I mean, you go down the line that'll just get ahead of that team and just crush it. I hate to say it, but it's just not. It's not a strong combination. You guys agree? Disagree with my assessment on that team?
I agree.
You're right, but there's a couple of caveats. I mean, okay, so the Krennic Army or the Krennic Zeta that ties them into Death Trooper can be surprisingly tricky. But I do think even tossing him in with a G8, G9 Iden would rip apart any Mon Mothma if you just kind of get rid of the Gideon, get rid of Dark, put Deathstorm with an Iden, and then stick in Shore and Snow, and you'll probably have enough damage to destroy most Mon Mothmas for those. I wouldn't sleep on the Krennic Omi. It's not a popular one. It's not one a lot of people know. I think it's the Omi, not the Zeta, but there is an interesting in there. But and then I would float Gideon off on his own, possibly put him into just a standard Empire team or a team just to rip away the TM from a team. But I honestly think that the Imperials are quite good at very low gear levels.
They can be depending on your level, yeah.
I mean, put it this way: if you put Veers, whatever level that is, with a Gideon that's fast and a Dark, then you're probably going to get Dark getting a go. And once Dark kills somebody and a Veers lead, he's off to the races. So you could probably have a pretty sensible kind of standard imp team from that lot.
You could do those. You could use that combination of something like that in 3s, but 5s.
You need Veers, but you could have Veers in there. You could have Stark in there. I mean, you just need 5. I mean, ideally you want Piet as well, but
Yeah, you gotta have
it's
Piet in there because that first move to Dark Troopers gets that whole ball rolling, and you got to get that death so you can get that turn meter thing going, right? And once you get the turn meter train and build up the stacks, Dark Trooper, Mike Tyson's everybody. So, and then aiding with the rest of the troopers, it's too good of a team. It's amazing on offense. It can take out a lot of stuff, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with on defense too. You got to have the right countering team to use it, but. Yeah, I think Imperial Revenant, until we get some more pieces on the board, maybe to do something more with it. The way the kits are currently constructed, it could maybe surprise somebody, but I don't think it has enough. It's not like when I look at Iden on defense, like God, what am I going to use on that shit? I'm thinking about it. When if I saw that team, I'm like, well, Merry Christmas to me. That's an easy win right there. Oh man. I wish it was because they're fun characters, but there's no synergy as much as you would want it to be. I think. Gappy question: any ideas on beating Ray, Ben, Swallow, Hodo, and 3v3? Yeah, JML. JML does it.
JML.
Yeah, JML. I use JML. JML, Cam, and who did I use last time? I think Jolie, or did we use Bass? I don't remember. But we went in there and, I mean, you just have to. Yeah. JML can really do it. You get in the ultimate, and then you just time your hits. You get Ray down, and then you burn Ben, and then you just have to deal with the revive. But yeah, I mean, especially get Luke in the ultimate with Cam in there hitting as hard as he does under JML. Yeah, you can do some nice work. You could even go. And 3's JML Cam. What was the one that I used? Did I use Jolie or did I use something else? I cannot remember who the hell we had in there last time.
I think I did it with Hoda as well.
Defense.
Defense.
Yeah, because she heals and stuff, and she's a nightmare. But with another GL in there, yeah, you're going to take out Hoda, and then you're going to take out those two. I mean, her ultimates, yeah. I'm trying to think who did I use? Because you can withstand quite a few, and she doesn't have the speed Datacrons and other stuff now, so she's just normal Ray.
I actually don't like that team because the Ray, Ben, Solo, Hoda, because there's no tank, because you don't have the purple rinse in there, or JTR, you can basically pick your target whether you want Ray or Ben, because Hoda's hidden anyway. So so that's why GML, GKL, Hoda, I think is what I used to beat that combo, but. I don't like that combo. I would put. I definitely want a tank in that team.
All right.
Flacker, Lobster, and Hux could do it too.
Yeah, they're gonna get Terminator either. So yeah, there's it can be handled. You just how you time your attacks and stuff.
You're gonna need a GL.
But. Yeah, but most GLs can handle it. What it does is it really makes C not poppable to use on that team because you just can't do anything. I mean, it's poopy. That Ben Swallow really neutered C against Ray. I mean, it really did, unfortunately, because you just can't kill him fast enough because the ultimate's not going to do anything, especially if she's got max health and stuff. So it can be done. You can use C, but it's really nasty, and a lot of times it fails. I mean, you're flipping a coin, and the odds are not in your favor. Let's see here. Any other question? Let me see here. I'm scrolling through. No, not at the moment. So get your questions in, guys. Just a reminder, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have a question for the panel and I missed it, you can let me know. But if you have a question for myself or anybody on the panel or the entire panel, all you got to do is put the word question for your actual question statement and or comment that you want us to respond to, and we will get that in there. So, yee. Man, I'm trying. This whole time I'm trying not to sneeze, man. This whatever this is, it's just gross. God, I hate this. It's so hard because my eyes are constantly watering, so you see me doing this, wiping my eyes or rubbing my nose like this because I'm constantly trying to fight a sneeze or anything. It's so stupid. Viruses are yucky. I hate them. I hate them like mayonnaise. You guys know how much I hate mayonnaise. So yeah, get your questions in, and we will continue on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else news. I mean, we got all the farmable stuff this week. I mean, BT and 000 went into the store and stuff, but not really a lot of news this week. Yeah. Nathan H. question: which job requirement would you relic first? I do things a little differently. I take them all at this. I do relics at the same time. So I take all my characters to gear 12. Then I take them all to relic 0 before I go a higher relic. But if I had to pick one, that's an interesting question.
I mean, if you got some, QE and some other stuff, you should already have some of them relic.
Well, yeah. So if you look at all the characters, I mean, in the journey guide, Fennec's definitely something. If you're just starting from scratch, I would say, obviously, Jedi Luke would be up there. You might want to do.
Just leave him at gear 12.
No, yeah. Fennec definitely. That young lady can do some cool. Boy, does she hit hard. Han's pretty obvious. But I'm going through the Hutt Cartel. Like, which one would I do for Hutt Cartel? That's an interesting choice. Probably Skiff Lando or Bougelet, because Kersentin really, as a tank, he's a tank. You can use for bounty hunters, but he's not even at the same level as Boss for a bounty hunter squad. I kind of lean toward Bougie or Skiff for those other requirements for Hutt Cartel. Or it wouldn't be a bad shout out though, because you can take. She's a low relic requirement anyway, but she's really great for the bounty hunters.
Her lead can do ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, Jedi Luke definitely is number 1. I think Fennec's number 2. Han's 3. Boba Fett you're gonna have to do anyway for those kind of stick out. 3PO, those all kind of stick out. But if I'm going through the Hutt Cartel, let's just leave those main characters out for a second. I think of
the rubbish ones, Gamo actually has a bit.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Tanks are always value.
Yeah.
So Gamorrean Guard would be of the non-useful characters in those requirements. I think I would do Gamo to.
That wouldn't be a bad shout
first.
out. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad shout out. Is he relic 5 or 3? I don't remember. Whatever he is, he's one of those relic levels. So whatever that crap is. So, yeah, interesting question. Question for the panel from Gav P says, any interesting combo teams that you've seen this 3v3? I haven't seen anything on defense or offense, anything strange or different. It's been pretty standard teams that you normally see. I put some different teams down on defense just to change it up a little bit. We're running a what's the team here that I'm running? Hold on, let me go to GAC and I'll tell you.
I got railed by a KRU Sith Trooper Star Killer team.
Yeah, that's one that's out there. Yeah,
the mechanics in that were kind of hard, if not broken. But no, all quite standard.
Yeah, the one I'm using is Savage Lead with his Omicron with Sith Trooper and B2, and that's a different team that I put on defense this round. That's a little bit different from the last. I'm going through the other ones. The rest I have are pretty standard teams, but I'll check here real quick for you. But, like, other than that, I haven't seen anything outside the norms of, like, anything. I've not seen anything. I'm going through my stuff here and looking. Yeah, nothing yet. But I've seen that crew team before, so that's not a team that I would say is...
I know. It's one that's going to be out there, but it was kind of a super... I mean, even just some of the old favorites, Newt Lead and Django and things like that, sometimes you forget just how weird some of these mechanics work.
Yeah.
And, you can... But yeah, no, it's been... I'm surprised just how kind of old. There hasn't been quite the normal level of... I think because there isn't really any new Omicrons, there maybe hasn't been quite so much innovation so far in this group of 3s. So I think that when we've gone into other sets of 3s, we've probably had more new characters, more Omicrons, more stuff that is different. But yeah, no, I think it's all quite standard stuff I've seen so far.
Muggsy, he did not put the word question in front of his actual question statement. Luckily, I caught it. Says, Hey guys, do you think Dr. Aphra is going to be more of a gas Starkiller level legendary or Grand Inquisitor level? No bloody idea. I mean, she's one that is kind of a wild card because we do not know her kit, and we don't know what her synergies are going to be. I assume she's going to have synergy with Darth Vader and the characters. We don't even have the fourth character, so we don't even know that right now. So, what level she'll be? She could be Starkiller level. Who knows? Which would be kind of cool. Or she might be. I don't know. We just have no way of. I mean, I couldn't even speculate on that because I don't even have the fourth character.
I mean, as far as her unlock event, I'd say it'd probably be Starkiller level.
That for sure, yeah. But the character itself, I couldn't even begin.
That's hard to say, yeah.
I don't think any of us here on the panel have even the remote clue what the hell's going on with that. So yeah, sorry.
I think it'll be. So I mean, okay. So if I could postulate, I'd say somewhere in between. I know it's a bit of a cop out. I think the kit to me doesn't look like a pure damage dealer. And anytime you get a gas or star killer, you're talking about very offensive, high damage players. I don't think she'll be that. And anytime you get somebody that hits really, really hard, like a Fennec or a star killer or a gas, then they become easier to fit into meta-defining teams or find another space to put them. I think she's going to have so much synergy with the people around her that she's going to be locked into a specific team. And I think without her being a massively high damage dealer, which is hard to see her being on a level of those you've listed there, I think she'll be more of a kind of mid-level team. Probably she'll counter something like a Bad Batch, or she'll have something she counters very, very well. I don't think she'll be as meta-defining as a gas killer.
I think she might be more on the C-3PO level. Because if you look, we got EP and Mara go with Starkiller, because that's just that team. That leaves Vader out to dry, or the Vader Thrawn combo out to dry. So if she goes with those two, with the two droids, that might be a killer team. Yeah. Because all the dots and everything. Yeah. That would be my guess.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it's a good point by Aldous. We don't know if she's going to be an attacker. We don't know if she's going to be a tank or support. We don't know what she's going to be. But yeah, well, we just got to wait and see. I mean, I wish we could speculate a little bit more and give you some idea, but we have no tea leaves on this.
We'll know on Monday when you do the Dr. Aphra lore video.
That's not what we're going to be doing. So yeah.
Damn! I requested that specifically. I would love to get that because she is a pretty cool. She does seem like a really cool character.
Yeah, we'll eventually do her, but I mean, I'm not. Yeah, she wasn't on the top.
She's not
of the
Monday.
chart.
I know.
And it ain't coming out on Monday. It's going to be sometime. Gappy question: does the L6 First Order Datacron buff up enough to beat Lord Vader? If you've got health still on it and health, yes. If you don't, then you're. But I mean, SLKR, if you're running Watt and armor with him, that's just bonus stuff. I think you could get away with it because you get those extra stats. Especially if you got health still on that Datacron, that makes a huge difference. But yeah, it's going to be a long, nasty fight because especially if he has deflection and dodge on that damn thing, if you don't hit, you can't do anything. So, it's going to be a long fight. But I think with the Datacron, with health still, and you've got health, and all the other goodies that come with it, you could probably get away with a level 6. The level 9 does make a difference because you get some really dope stuff. That reflect property for SLKR is pretty damn amazing. It does a nice little reflective damage back to those buttholes. I like it. I think you can get away with it. Aldous, you think? I think he could, yeah. At least try, right? Because what else you got to lose? Against the Lord Schmader. All right. What else? Another question. How do you like Kersantin as a tank with bounty hunters outside of the Hutt cartel teams? He's okay. I still prefer Bosk. But if you had to run with the bounty hunter team, you can. It's not the best tank. He's really designed for job in the Hutt cartel. He really is. But he's serviceable, right?
Well, that's why I'd say Gammo. Gammo's going to be a better overall tank than him. But I mean, he's
for bounty hunters.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I think I think most people have Bosk, and I think Bosk ends up being the tank for bounty hunters. It's hard, it's like asking who's the second most attractive girl in the class. It's do we really mind? But no, I think Chrysanthemum for me isn't a pure tank. He is a tank stroke attacker.
There's a little bit of a hodgepodge of stuff there. Jack Daniels says for the bounty hunters, you should for the requirements you should focus on Aura, Greedo, Chrysanthemum over Morning Guard. Just the bounty hunters, pirates, etc. So you can use them with the Datacrons. That's true. The Datacrons are out there for those right now. Plus the Galactic Challenges. So yeah, makes sense. That does make sense. Good point, Jack Daniels. Gappy question. I'm reliking up my Night Sisters. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to. God bless you, sir. Says Wait, what? I'm looking at my Night Sisters. I have Night Sister and Second Sister were like 5. Which would be the best Inquisitor 3-man team? Oh, so you mean Inquisitors. Okay. So Ninth and Second Sister were like 5. Which would be the best Inquisitor 3-man team to use on defense, offense, and GC 3v3 for the next round, not including Grand Inquisitor? Well, I do put Grand Inquisitor on defense, which I may pull him because he can beat gas. So we may do that, but I do like him on off. I mean, the team that I'm running outside. Let me look here real quick. For my defense,
Ninth is a tank I really like anyway. Like, so outside of Inquisitors, Ninth Sister I think works really well.
Yeah, I'm running Grand Inquisitor 9th and 5th as a team. And then the other team, and you need a fast 7th sister to do this, right? But if you can get her really fast, and she can get really fast. She's like 180 something. So just a decent speed set 150 or 160 is going to get around 340, 350. That's a tough team to face, right? But 7th with 2nd and 8th. 8 stealthing, and because she's so fast, she gets that first move off, they can do some nice damage. That might be a team to consider. I mean, Seven Sisters lead is pretty decent too. Let me pull it up here real quick.
And I think long term you're going to end up trying to counter gas and 501st maybe with the team as a whole. Once you get the others, and you're going for Grand Inquisitor. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I know that's not 3s, yeah. But
in 3s, the reason I went with this because Empire allies gain 16% evasion, and whenever the Inquisitors evade, they recover 5% health and protection and gain advantage for 2 turns. That's why. So it's like it's a nasty evasion team, and it does great damage. So that's a team you might want to consider there, my friend. You threw me off, Gappy, when you said Night Sisters. It's like, what the hell, man? What the frack? What the friggity frack? Oh man. Let me get the next question. What else? Any 3 question. What do you think about the speculation of the 4th character being Sana Staros? Makes total sense to me. I mean, it really does. In the comics and stuff, her and Afroduce shit. I mean, she's got a whole background story, ties into everything. It wouldn't shock me at all. And we'll just have to see. I mean, we weren't expecting Dr. Aphra and the droids anyway, and we weren't expecting any of this stuff. This kind of took us all a little bit by surprise, but, I mean, it makes sense that it would be Sana. It doesn't mean it's going to be. They could throw something else in there that we didn't expect either, but, I mean, I'm pretty confident in Sana being the 4th. That would make total sense. It could be anybody, so the game is wide open, but, I mean, BCM all this, it makes sense, right? Sana, I've heard that speculation too. It makes total sense to me.
It does. It's just weird because last time with Star Killer, we could kind of guess a little bit better because of video game characters and stuff. But
I think there's a huge amount of speculation videos going out at the moment of, this is a leak when it's not. I think it's quite amusing. I love it. I love that sort of stuff. 100% it makes sense. It's Stana. It could be Stana, and they could put an R8 Darth Vader on there as a hidden for 5th, maybe not a new character. I guess it's maybe not in the way of doing it, but it could legitimately be Darth Vader at R8. And again, that would make lore, but I think Sana Staros is the one that makes most obvious sense.
Yeah, I agree. What else? 3 question. What are the best options for EP Mara Starkiller on defense? to take it out. Is what you mean? I'm assuming that's what he means.
Yeah.
I usually don't dick around with that team. I usually a lot of time I'm JMKing that thing because I usually, it depends on the defense they've set, but what outside of that can do it?
I think I might have Imperial Troopered one, getting ahead of Mara. I might have also done a lone Darth Vader with the Omicron where he died first.
Yeah,
the Revivacron.
You have to have the Revivacron to make that happen. Absolutely. That's an option. I don't think Grievous works on that team, if I'm mistaken, because you need all 5 droids and 5s to do it, which it absolutely works. I don't know how good it is in 3s. I haven't used it, but someone said to use Wampa the other day. I don't know about that. I mean, that seems a little dicey to me. You're going to have to go in there with something correct against that team because... And you got to look on what Datacron they're putting on there. If it's a cooldown reduction one, you're definitely going to want to go something hard because you will get into that infinite loop with Mara Jade, and you're just going to sit there and watch your team just get harmed. This is the best way to play it. You're going to get harmed. I wish it wasn't the case, but well, it's the case. So yeah, unfortunately. Okay. Next question. Tumblr question. Is there one more Chewie that could be added to the game? The only one that I can think of is Old Man Chewie from the Legends books. Got a little gray in the fur and stuff.
Christmas special, Star Wars, Chewie?
Yes.
I mean, God, no, though. I think, I think they've added too many Chewies, to be honest.
Plethora of Chewies. Yeah, I think they've got most of 99% of the Chewies that we can get. I mean, other than Old Man Chewie from the Legends books, that's about as far. I mean, the other Chewie we can get for game, we can get Endor Chewie. They can do a version of that. I pray to God that doesn't happen, but you never know. And then Old Man Chewie would be the only 2 more Chewies I could see coming into this game. Because we've got the new sequel, Chewie, right? Bet Han, Vet Chewie. Then that kind of covers Old Man Chewie a little bit. The only thing I can think of that makes the most sense is,
I don't think any of it makes sense. Please,
yeah, let's not get any more Chewies. Okay, you know what? I'm with you all this.
Shit,
no more
Chewies.
Chewies. Okay, we've had it. We're over it. All right? I love Chewie. All right? I love the Wookiees, but God damn it, good relations I have with them. But no. Okay? Jesus, Mary and Joseph. What is this spam shit? Apparently I got a $500 grocery voucher. Let me just do this real quick. Block the number. Thank you. And go to hell. Ah, the old $500 grocery voucher, huh? Mm-hmm. Not gonna fall for that one there, Aldous. Maybe it was me and BC. I'm gonna get some booze or something. Yeah, Wampa against Starkiller. I mean, I have high tenacity on my Wampa, but it's that bloody loop, man. It terrifies me with that Datacron. I guess if they don't have that Datacron on, Wampa's a nice choice. If I'm thinking about the EP Mara Starkiller team. You know what? If I get one of those today, we'll try it. As long as the Datacron's not ridiculous. But if I see one of those stupid Datacrons on there, I'm not like, no. They're going to take too many turns. Starkiller's going to get called too many times, and he's going to get to his ultimate, and Wampa's going to be, smushy Wampa. Swimpy. Smushy. Yes, Mr. Bone, I don't love Chewies. You know what? It's not the Chewies. Okay, let me just say this. Chewies are fine. Like, if I'm drinking bourbon out of a shoe, it's not that bad because it's bourbon. I mean, yeah. But when you're drinking Foster's out of a bloody shoe, not only do you get that shoe taste, which, I mean, I had a brand new shoe. Nice leather. Very nice leather. Very nice shoe, by the way. Foster's turns anything... I don't care. You can drink it out of a glass. It tastes like gasoline and ass is the best way I can describe Foster's. It just... And it's, you know, the thing about Foster's, and I again, learned this lesson last night. I've never had so many belches want to come out of me because it just wants to get out of your body. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's constantly just covering my mouth last night after each shoey. So if I was doing like some Jack Daniels in a shoey, okay, I can do that, right? It's like doing a shot, maybe a little shoey taste, but that's a lot better taste than Foster's. Gotta say, not a fan. I think I'm pretty sure I poisoned myself last night. I was so pissed off at that. I threw the can across the room. It's still sitting over there. I can see it where I threw it. I was so angry at that stupid thing. Foster's Australian fit butt. God. Oh, God. No, we're not getting chewy with the Kung Fu grip. Although that would be kind of dope. You know, I love the Kung Fu grip. Yeah, yes. Oh, boy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Hut Slave Chewy. No, you lost me there. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, we're not doing a Chewy. That's out too. Okay, you guys. Okay, you're out of control. All right, chat, calm down. Nathan H. question: how was your Chewy on scale from dinner with Jar Jar to I'm a Sith Lord? Oh, it's Jar Jar level. That's some Jar Jar level stuff. I mean, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, like ever. Like, ever. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm having PTSD with the stupid Chewy. Oh, it's so awful. Question: who is the best fifth for an Admiral Raddus Rogue One team? Only the Profundity characters are built up. All other characters are Gear 7 or lower. I think you want the big three. You want Raddus, Jyn, and Cassian. The other thing that I've been seeing is 2 tanks or Chirrut and Baze. Baze is a pre-taunting tank on that team. Unfortunately, unlike with SRP, and KTO doesn't start taunting either off the bat either. You could go... I've seen different combinations. I've seen Admiral Raddus with Jyn and Cassian with KTOSO and Baze. I've seen Chirrut and Baze. I've seen Biston and Biston and Baze as a combination. But Baze seems to be the tank that most go to. If they're going to do double tank, they'll try to go SRP or Baze, or definitely KTSO and Baze. Problem with KTSO, he's one of those... It's a Carbonti whore. So bad.
I didn't have any of those, so I've stuck Nest in just to be annoying. Yeah, so that'll work. But yeah.
Oh, I got you, Daniel McCracken. I got you, Daniel McCracken.
I had the same problem as Will felt. You know, I've basically only got 4, and I don't have the others kind of built up. So yeah, I put Nest in, but I'm rotating it around a lot.
All right. Hellnick says, here's a serious question for you guys. I have C. I don't know what team he's best used with, so I plop him on Gakd and stick with what or Sith. What is the ultimate C squad? First of all, please God, take him off defense. Oh God, what are you doing? Mod him for health, and more health. And when you think you don't have enough health, put some more health on him. Typically, all you need for C, let's just say for Rey teams, right? You're going to go in with C, Watt, and you want Sith tanks. If you don't have Sith tanks, especially if there's a Datacron, but there's no more Datacron associated with C, so you don't have to worry about that relic level, but you want like Sith Trooper. If you're going to put him on defense, put him with Malak, because Malak really protects him on defense, but that's not an ideal situation you want to put. C's not the best on defense, especially now that his Datacron's gone, but first of all, take him on defense and use him for offense. You can solo gases with him. You can take on a lot of GLs with him. He does good work. You can take out Malgus with him. But you definitely want multiple tanks who are going to die because that's just the way it works. And you want at least a wad in there if you're going after a major like GL or something. You could, I don't know, armor too, but problem now is we're moving those pieces over to armor and Watt to the Lord Vader squad with SLKR because it's such a nightmare to take on with that Datacron. But yeah, I would say C for offense. And if you're going to use them against a GL, just bring in lots of tanks. You have to. You have to protect him so he can ramp up. That's why you do it. He's healthy, and you got to get him to his ultimate when you're taking on another GL. Am I missing anything on that, Perheli? Big thing is
it's just SWGOH. I mean, I think SWGOH beats the old school Ray team without Ben Solo pretty easily,
it
as
does.
long as he's modded okay. So, I mean, for me, SWGOH is now the offensive team that just beats the Rays. Now she's lost the Datacrons, so yeah, I don't even bother with the other Sith.
Well, it is Heli, so he won't have Lord Vader, so he could still use
probably
Watt armor for now.
Yeah, it'd be fine. All right. Tracking with Daniel McCracken says, question, returning player after 2 years with 4.5 million GP and SLKR. Should I go for the light side GL or the quickest available? How much should I prioritize executive profundity? You should always prioritize ships. I would say if you have SLKR, you're 4.5, go executor into C. That's an easy one. Then after that's
what I did, yeah.
You can think about maybe... The problem is, I don't know where you're at with Cat. A lot of people want to go for JMK early, but JMK is good, but without Cat, he's just not the same GL. A lot of times I tell people to go Luke, Jedi, CLS, Jedi Luke, and the JML. That's really a good combination. Plus, it gets you some of the pieces for your profundity that you're going to need anyway. So if you want to go Executor, C, then Rebels with Jedi Luke, Jedi, Master Luke, profundity, that might be the play until you can get your Cat up and running and then go get JMK. That's kind of the path I'm seeing right now. Jabba, Rey's put back on the back burner. If you don't have Ben Swallow, she's definitely on the back burner as well. I mean, she's still good. She's still the queen of defense, but you're behind the curve a little bit. So try to get those quick GLs. I mean, C's pretty solid. There's some Relic 7, a couple Relic 7s on that. But it does get your bounty hunters up and running. It gets your Imperial troopers running. It gets you the ship executor. And once you got all that tied in, then you go CLS, Jedi Luke, Jedi Master Luke. You can go profundity afterwards. That gets you the meta ships. That gets you 2 GLs with some teams associated with it. And then you can start thinking about those hard pushes, right? Like JMK Cat, Lord Vader Maul, those kind of combinations of characters. Because since you have not been doing conquest, you're stuck in Proving Grounds until they put those characters elsewhere where you can get them. And Proving Grounds sucks butt. I don't know what else to say about that. That is awful. I still don't know how Cat is the only... I'm getting that shit again. But it is what it is. You just have to deal with it. I missed your question, Darsion? I don't think so. Let me look here. I'll go back and look for it.
There was one about TB when it'll come. On Daniels, I would... Okay, so
I
if I
got
was
it.
returning... So if I'd left the game and come back up 2 years, my two pieces of advice. One, I would not commit. I'd spend a couple of weeks just kind of seeing what influx of stuff I got, what level things were really at. Then I would come to, when are roster reviews on the RSC channel, I would come in and get a more... Because exactly what direction to go is so nuanced by exactly what you have and what you don't have.
Very true.
So I think it's a kind of question, which is an incredible question and kind of very interesting to answer. But I would try and come onto one of these incredible people's channels and try and get a roster view, try and get a more detailed kind of, this might be the direction to go. But it really depends. And like you say, you've got nothing for cast at the moment. You're stuck in Proving Grounds. I don't really know. But yeah, the advice I give you is right. But I think I wouldn't commit for the first couple of weeks. I think I would chill for a couple of weeks. And I would just kind of chill for a couple of weeks, play the game, see if I won my grand arenas, see if I won my GW, my Air 2 Wars, see what I had left over, and then go from there. And then come into a sort of a roster review at that point with a load of stuff ordered. And then pick a position off that might be what I would do.
All right, I'm going back, and I do see your questions. Sorry, multiple things. This is not catching shit today. Dark Sign question: what does the panel think the new TB think the new TB will arrive? Also, do you think CG will tune this TB harder than light side GOTB? Also, do you think CG will make high stars unachievable like light side TB? Let's go through these one at a time. When do we think it's going to arrive? I don't think it's coming until January, February next year at the earliest. They're not going to launch it during the holidays because most of them are on vacation. So we're not going to start getting anything. I'd say January the earliest. Probably February, maybe even March. We might get the new TV. What do you guys think?
I think they want to monetize it before the end of the financial year. So I think it'll be March at the absolute latest. I agree on the holidays, so I think it pushes it back to at least late January. I wouldn't be surprised if they did what they've been doing, a marquee, what do they call it? They have a little practice round they've given us over a couple of things.
The exhibition stuff?
Even Datacrons were an exhibition sort of as they launched, so there might be, I would predict maybe an exhibition in late January, and then the formal thing in early March. Something like that. I'm making that up.
No, that's where I'm at too on it. I really think that's where it's at. And then, do you think CG will tune this TB harder than light side GOTB? I don't think it'll be harder. I don't. I think it's going to have caps to get in. I think we've been talking about Relic 5 as like your characters have to be Relic 5 to. I don't think the initial stuff will have walls to it, but to get further along and finish it, you'll have to have Relic 5 characters, and I think it'll get difficult. But I don't think they're going to make it. The reason I say it's not going to be super hard is because they talked about like every 6 months changing out what's in there and stuff like that. So I don't think that they're going to have it at that stupendous level, right? It'll still be hard. You'll still need Relic 5. It's just going to be frustrating. We'll have to figure it out. But I don't think it's going to be light side GOTB stupid. And the reason I say that is when I heard them say that they want to rotate stuff in and out of that, that means they're not going to do it that way, because if nobody can finish it, what's the point of bringing new shit in if we couldn't even finish it the first time? You know what I'm saying? You guys agree or disagree with that part of this question? My answer, yes.
100% agree. I think you're right. I think the modular thing is by far the most exciting part of this entire new TB, is that it doesn't need to be scaled to last for 3 years or 4 years. It can be scaled to just be. I'm not sure we'll complete it. I think they'll scale it so that it gives a good spread of performance, and that's why I would even encourage them to do like an exhibition one, just to see what people get. But yeah, I think the fact that it is going to be switch outable is probably the most interesting thing. So I think it's a much healthier way of doing it, put it that way, than what they did the last one.
Yeah, and then the last one, the stars, I think is tied into what we just said. So yeah,
it'll also depend. It'll depend whether we do get 3 or whether we get a new Cairo or something, or what sits behind it if there is a new monetization system brought to the game.
Yeah, well, there's so much we don't know about this TB, right?
And that could be seriously delaying things, because if they're bringing a whole new financial model, it's going to be a mess. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah. There's a lot of unknowns about this. I mean, we don't know if you can do all 3 paths. You can only do 1 path at a time. It's going to dictate a lot of things. I just cannot see them having something where they want to rotate it, have it like they did with like either GP or difficulty, like they did for light side GOTB. The players will lose their shit and not want to do it. You know, that'd be the death knell in this game, because people are like, fuck that, because I understand why they did what they did for light side GOTB back in the day, because they were going through that transition of trying to fix all the spaghetti shit that they had in the background. I don't mean I like it, but I understand why they did it, so that they had something that was so over the top, and it still is over the top, where we still can't, my guild, we get 4 for 4 in all the battles and ships and stuff now, especially with the profundity, but we ain't even sniffing a star in the middle, and we ain't getting the 2nd star and 3rd star in ships. We just do not have literally the math. We can't do it. Difficulty wise, we caught up, but GP wise, yeah. So I don't think we'll have a GP thing like that for this, and I don't think the stars will be because it'll run for 6 months. So it may take us a couple months to get used to it and then max it out on the stars. But then they're going to rotate new stuff out. So I think that's where they want it. It'd be difficulty where it may take a couple tries to get through and beat it. But then you know that there's new shit coming in, and then you'll start it'll keep it fresh. And that's the problem we have with the other TVs is they're so stale. Because there's nothing when they first came out, it's like, okay, but once that content's beaten, it's like raids. You know, you've done it once, you've done it 100 times.
Isn't that the new thing? They're making it modular. Yeah.
They want to get more modular stuff, and I applaud CG for doing that kind of stuff because I think it'll give health to the game if they do it right. That's the big if. If they do it right, it could really make the game last a hell of a lot longer. Instead of us always bitching that we don't have content, we can have content that's always changing. And Conquest, you can say what you want about it. It does change. Now, we may not like some of the crap that they do with it, but it does change. There's always something different about Conquest. Still the same kind of, it's still Conquest, but there's different feats and stuff that you have to try to do and figure out. So at least with that, it's never stale. Conquest is not stale. It's frustrating, but it's not stale. You cannot say Conquest is stale. Conquest is what Conquest is. The feats change. They're adding like different, like the new bounty hunters that were in there. Frankenstein and his boys. I don't know what else to call those guys. But yeah. So if they can do that, even come close to that with this TV, I think they might have something there. But again,
as long as it's not stupid challenges, that's kind of
yeah. I mean, that can't be a thing.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't want to be going against a over-prepared Phoenix squad.
Yeah, I hope they don't bring that kind of crap to. I mean, they're going to add.
Unfortunately, at least with the Conquest, you have multiple chances. When you start talking TV, you only get one shot, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. See, it's got to be balanced.
I do also think they need to be careful of the Reva cadence. I think Cam takes way too long, where she is at the moment. So I think I'd advise them to move to 2 shards if you're successful. I think we want the spread of people getting there from 6 months through to 2 years as being the kind of the main kind of area. I don't think we need it when we Cam was, which is almost 1 year through to 4 years. So I think they need to be careful on that cadence if they're going to go to a winning shards approach with Reva. And also they need to make sure that Reva's kit's still relevant and meta-defining in 2 years' time, and not a case of, well, she was meta-defining when she launched, but nobody got her for 1.5 years, so nobody ever enjoyed that.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of stuff that we need to see more, because the only thing we've seen on TV is a short little, hey, TV's coming, blah, 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 and then we saw an image. And that's all we got. I mean, so until we get more information about that, again, we don't know how good Reva's going to be either. We know Inquisitor's going to be required. I guarantee Grand Inquisitor's going to be needed for that, to just plan on it. We know Jabba's going to be associated with this. I think they said the Phoenix was going to be a part of this too, or some other stuff. So we'll see once we get the official word, right, on like what's going to be in there, how it's going to work, what's their thinking on it. Then we can start making better assessments of TV. But right now we're just kind of hoping. Here's the hope. Rebellions were built on hope. All right, get your questions in, guys. I think I caught up to all the questions. Sorry I missed a couple there, but Nightbot's shit in the bed right now, and I'm trying to do this old school by going through and reading the chat and stuff. Anything else we can talk about while we're waiting for another question?
I mean, Exo's put it in chat there. Yeah, I do agree. If they gave us an exhibition TV, then I think the full launch would be a lot closer. Now that they don't necessarily have a testing program to speak of, I think that they really could do with everybody having a go just to get the maths of it right, the cadence of it right, or certainly launch it with a inverted commas subject to change in there, just so that they can change it. Because if they get this wrong, it's going to switch people off away from either Grand Inquisitor or even bothering. And people might just stick on Geonosis or something, you know. So, yeah, I think they've got to be careful with it.
I agree. While we're waiting for the next question, are you guys caught up on Andor?
Yeah.
Aldous?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it like just that last episode was incredible? This
Oh, it
show
was.
has just blown me away. It is so good, man. I am just over the moon with this show, man. I'm a binge watcher, and it kills me that I can't binge this crap, man. It's killing me, man. Because we've got 2 more episodes, and I'm just like on pins and needles, like what's going to happen now? It's such a good show. I cannot recommend Andor enough. Now listen, it's a slow burn. It's a jab, punch, uppercut. I mean, you get a lot of great character moments, and there's a lot of building and intrigue. But man, it ramps up, and then it goes and does some stuff, and then it ramps up again even more, and then it goes down. But this last episode, man, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you're not watching Andor, please do. That show is. I wish the other Star Wars shows with the acting or the stuff that they've done, but this kind of writing was in those, because this writing is phenomenal. I mean, just unbelievably good. Go ahead, BCM.
Yeah, yep.
Who was talking, or whoever? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we talked a bit about it this morning or whatever chatting. To me, it is Star Wars, but it's like a completely different Star Wars. It's more like a Kurt Vonnegut novel. It's like pure science fiction. It's not really like the Star Wars films. It's like a completely different writing style take. It's not even really like The Mandalorian. It's like such a gritty one man, his journey. It's just made in a different way. It's like all the subtleties in there, all the details. It's just very good, but it's completely different from everything else I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe. But so
all the side characters are so good in this. They all
detailed and nuanced.
You care about them. You get to know them. The main antagonist in this it's Cassian, it's Momo, and it's Luthien, right? But all the other characters that are associated, that are in the background, that are related to the story, I mean, they do such a great job of flushing those guys out that you actually want to know what the hell happens with all those characters and stuff.
And there are fleshed out people that haven't yet finished their arc that don't make a lot of sense at the moment. They're like, hang on, that person is a major character, but what, so
good.
They're going to tie all up. It's going to be beautiful.
It's so good. Yeah. And I don't care that it's not less space fantasy. This show is just giving me more. It's just giving me more, man. I mean, it's in the Star Wars universe, and the way they do it, it's just the way they portray the Empire. It's so good, man. I mean, and you see with what's happening, like what it takes to fight something like the Empire, what it takes to form a rebellion, and everything that goes on with it. It is brilliant. I mean, I'm so loving the series.
Zero Force, not one Jedi, not one Sith.
Nope.
There's just so the whole thing. I think that's why a lot of people are saying it's maybe more sci-fi. It's a bit Blade Runner stolen from. It's a bit
sure.
It's very sci-fi because it doesn't have the space fantasy element of the Force in there. There's nobody moving rocks around or learning things. It's just brilliant. It's very good.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And don't get me wrong, I adore Mando. Boba Fett was okay. I mean, there's some parts in Boba Fett that I love. Book of Boba Fett, like the Tusken stuff, I thought was really good. And then some stuff I'm like, no. Obi-Wan, it was good, but there were some really slow parts in there. There was some really good stuff in Obi-Wan. I mean, the fight scene at the end of Obi-Wan is just one of the best fight scenes ever, man. It had everything I would want with that fight. But this show, man, it is not skipped. It has not missed a beat. It's just every little detail. It reminds me of an anime that I watched, the Kieran Logan series. And there's a I'm sorry, not Carolina. But it was an anime that someone told me to watch, and what is it? I'll think of the name of here, but it's a bunch of animes that it's kind of like in a Pulp Fiction where it goes back and forth in timelines and stuff, in each of the different groups of settings. Most of it is just them talking, and I've never been more enthralled in an anime with the conversations that these folks have. And I love, don't get me wrong, I love me some, shonen, and I love me some isekai. I love me some different, I love those fight animes and stuff. But this one, and I'm trying to remember what it was, it's just, I mean, they have fight scenes, don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of good epic stuff in it, but it was just them talking and talking and talking and having conversations over and over again. I'm just like, I can't stop watching this shit. It's because when you get good writing, like a good book or anything, you're just captivated. Like you start getting in this. It's so good, and or for me, it's just hitting at that level. It's so bloody good. All right, DFE question: do you think we will get more Return of the Jedi characters content this year? So, what do you think? Maybe one or two as they start hyping up and or ramping up to next year with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. We're definitely next year going to start getting some characters, but do we think it one or two more before the year's out? Marquees mainly, nothing big, but
No,
I don't think Return of the Jedi. We might get a. I mean, it is what we got.
Well,
2
we
months,
still have to finish
so,
Dr. Afro first of all.
Yeah, we'll get
so
that, but I don't think we'll see until maybe Q1, Q2 of next year.
You don't think anything in
The
December?
Return of the Jedi stuff.
End of December, start launch maybe something like a marquee or
Maybe
something.
maybe early January.
Yeah,
but they got
Not
the
for
TV
me.
they got to come out with first. So
yeah, not with them just doing Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt was too obvious. They've launched a load of Return of the Jedi people, and they've made us all gear up a load of Return of the Jedi people.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've all been saying this. Dark Side, General Leia, GL next year. Book it. It's coming, man. Let's give Carrie Fisher some love and perfect timing. Let's get that GL in here. It's coming, man. And we're gonna have to work on Ewoks. So JT somewhere just orgasmed when I said that. Nathan H question: Which characters do you want most to see in the game? I want Hondo and some Sith. There's so many characters we could go with. I mean, we've talked about this. Love to see Bane and Zana in the game.
Nathan, where you been? Hondo's in the game.
Yeah, Hondo's in the game.
They were not farmables.
Are you trying to trick us?
BB9E.
Yeah, you could add him to First Order. That would be good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, BB9E would be good. Watto would be good. There's so many characters that are iconic for me from the original films that just aren't in it. Even Jar Jar Binks.
I don't want Jar Jar.
And the Gungans.
No, fuck. I leave. We talked about some different factions though, in the seriousness, like the Celestials they could bring in, the mother, the father. I'm sorry, the father, the brother, the sister, and then Abeloth could be a part of that. That would be a nasty combination to have. You could have you say the Eternal Twins, but I mean the whole Eternal Thrones family would work. Valkyrin, the Emperor, his wife, the daughter, and the two, Arkin and Thexan. I mean, that's a 5-man team there that could be really dope if they wanted to do it. And we've already got some Old Republic. I mean, we've had Old Republic in the game now, especially with Malgus coming out. I think that's a possibility. We've talked about in the past. The Knights of Ren, as to flesh out First Order some more, with one of the Kylos, just to make that a fun thing, or maybe SRKR. A useful Mace. Mace is pretty useful, man. They did a good job on him. I mean, he's compared to where he was, he's pretty solid there. Sandfly. Hey, Pubby1 Canobicus.
I would say that I still want the 2 Tuskens from Book of Boba.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, flush out the Tuskens.
That
call.
team needs to be filled out.
Yeah, I'd like to see Old Republic get flushed out some more. That's why I'm saying a lot of Old Republic stuff, because there's so many characters they could bring in just to make the Old Republic faction, the light side, just that much better, right? So yeah, there's lots of characters. Nathan H question: Which characters do you most want? Oh, we did that one. Which quality of life improvements would you like to see? Ship loads out is still the top of the list here. I think we've all been wanting ship loadouts as the next big thing. The mod stuff they nailed, so the mod stuff is good.
Yeah.
What are some quality of life stuff besides ship loadouts? That's the obvious one that you guys think that we would like.
I want auto dailies.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
So to not so I've been playing MSF lately. If you log in for 7 straight days and you're at a certain level, your streak activates and you get to. I mean, we streak all those, but eventually you get to auto your dailies, and when you sign in, it does all the basic dailies, like all the sin stuff.
That'd be kind of cool.
Autos it when you sign in.
That's not a bad one, man. I didn't think of that. That's actually kind of tempting there, brother. I like that. That's pretty good. What about you, Aldous? Anything on your brain there?
My biggest concern is over the GAC matchmaking. And I really think they've got a problem with people not playing and then coming back to play. It's causing some quite crazy mismatches. So I think I know it's maybe not quality of life, but I do think they do need to think very carefully about that. Quality of life thing's okay. I'd like them to remove the fourth reinforcement from ships. I mean, nobody ever uses it. It never gets on the field. Just remove, make it 3 on the field with 3 people coming on. I think most people now only place maybe 2 reinforcements, 3 reinforcements. Or certainly, maybe you put 4 in 1. But yeah, I think you could probably remove that 4th inverted commas reinforcement, but it never comes on. I'd like them to remove crystals from ship shards.
I don't.
And move it into the actual game rather than
where do you want to move it to?
We'll stick in a new TB. Just put it through the game. Just put it through the game. I think it sits. Having it in ship shards that are kind of, some people are in controlled ones and they're able to pick and get what they want. Other people aren't. I think it creates too much of a difference. So I think I would bring that in.
Well, the TB will have crystals like the other one, so that's extra crystals. So, but yeah, if they can come up,
I was going to say I'd also like crystals removed from my account every month and given to the officers in the guild. So literally like an officer tax. So I think if you're a guild above a certain level, it just removes 10 crystals from everyone in the guild and gives it to the officers and the leader. I think that would be a nice gesture, given I know they're not going to do that, but I think that would be a nice kind of thing that as a community, I think the time and these people are putting into things at TW is so high. I think we need to find a way that those people get some inverted commas rewards.
Well, they could. I just don't think they'll ever allow crystals to be moved from one person to the other.
I know, but you know what I mean.
I know.
I think there's something in there that maybe officers should get an accelerated crystal payout on things. I don't know. It'd be nice to see that nice for the as a quality of life.
Yeah,
because we need these people. These people are people put an incredible amount of job, incredible amount of work. So it'd be nice to see them get slightly more, double the TW payout. Or double the TB and actually give them formal rules. Anyway, yeah.
I can see that. What else? 73 question. Would ships be better with 5 out front and 2 or 3 reinforcements? Yes. I don't know why they changed it. We just talked about that, so there's no need to go back into that again. We just covered it. I agree. Darkside, he says remove or increase gear donation cap. That would be kind of nice, to increase the gear that you can give and help people out, because some people have extraordinarily large amounts of gear that could help other people out. I'd like to see that increased. Cello says Bell Organa and Saw Gerrera are needs we don't have. Yeah, I'd like to see at least Saw in here. I mean, where the hell's Saw been, man? He's been in every series there's been out there. He's even in the new, he's in... Andor. I mean, goddamn, that dude's everywhere. Have you come to kill me, my child?
Like Hondo, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, the problem I have with moving crystals is where are you going to move crystals? Like, we took the ones from Squad Arena and we put in GAC. Brilliant move, and I'm fine with that. Where are you going to... I mean, you can't put it in TW. We only do 4 of those a month. TB already gives crystals, so until they give me a satisfactory place that they can and put those, then we're just kind of stuck dealing with it. Give me a solution and a valid solution to where those can go. Where the thing that works for GAC is that there's always crystals in it coming, and not only do we get more crystals from by doing it, it's consistent, right? You even if you miss a day, like you didn't log in, you're still going to get those crystals. So that's something that they have to. That's the standard I have if they're going to move shards from ship chat. Trust me, I'm lucky. Yeah. I'm in a shard that we get along great, and everybody works together and stuff. I also know that there's shard mafias out there, just like it was in Squad Arena back in the day. But you've got to give me a solution to where those are going, and do the same thing you did with JC. If that doesn't reach the level of that, I don't want to see people's crystals getting messed with. So. Oh, hey, Ghost Strike, what's going on? Tommy P says Scout Trooper and Moff Jared. No, you can do that. Some good suggestions in the chat there. All right, we'll go for a couple more minutes here. We're going to end this a little early so I can get my GAC in because I still have to go finish up my stuff for this lore video today. So still got to work out. Still got to do a bunch of stuff. Take some more medication to clear this bullshit out of my sinuses. It's kicking my ass, man. It really is. This whole time I'm sitting here trying not to sneeze, man. I can't. And I've taken, I thought it was allergy, so I took some Benadryl. I'm going to try Sudafed today. But no. This is not helping. I still kept sneezing and getting the snot bubbles in the nose. It's awful. Scylla says, quality of life sim, anything 3-star, proving grounds, executor, and other capital ships, smugglers, run, etc. Yeah. I like that. If you've beaten it and you 3-starred it, you're damn right you should sim it. Well, they do that for the assault battle, so yeah, I like to see them spin that out. Yeah, good call. I like that.
The other thing about characters coming in, I mean, we have plenty of characters in this game that are on just CG side that they could just throw those kits and throw them to us.
Yeah.
Just keep the kits the same. Like, we've seen scout troopers, we've seen all those new bounty hunters that we just faced in Conquest, all the ships that are out there to fill out fleets and stuff, like the Tri-Fighter and the Bomber and stuff and all that stuff. Just throw that all to us. I know you're not going to make any money for it, but they're already in game, and that'll give us stuff to work for.
Well, after they've been there for a while, those events and stuff like that, after a certain point, you reach a point past maybe you're going to make a lot of money on it. So you could put it in a way you could make some money still off of it, but still just like if you've done it a bunch of times and just sim it, just go get your shit. So
no, I'm talking like bring the characters forward out of there, like the shield troopers from the the First Order shield troopers.
Oh, sure.
The riot troopers, bring those in the game.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
The characters and stuff that we have in game that we just can't play with.
I'm sure we'll get them eventually. When, I don't bloody know. So, all right, last call for questions. We're gonna go wrap it up so I can flip over immediately and go do some GSC. I invite Aldous and BCM to come hang out if they want to come watch me putz around and GAC. We'll knock that out so that way I want to try to get it done. So you get about 3 minutes, no questions come in, then we're going to wrap it up so I can go get immediately into GAC, knock it out. And the sad thing is, I'll do my GAC and finish it before Wolf, who just started. He'll be like 3 or 4 hours and just starting his damn GAC. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He won't finish till afternoon.
Yeah, we're going to go to Twitch for GAC. I'm not going to do it on the YouTube. I always do Twitch for the GACs or the weekends and stuff. I do Twitch. So, Wednesdays, usually Wednesday's the only time I do on the YouTube, but that's usually we've been doing on the Wednesday night stream. We haven't had a lot else to do, so we've just been doing GACs because, either that or Conquest. Not a lot of news out. I mean, we had a little bit of news, but that was just where, finally Bougie Lay became farmable. But, a little bit of information on some characters and stuff.
The info coming from CG is kind of fell off.
It's a little bit, yeah. We do have the big 7-year anniversary coming up, so there'll be some nice stuff coming from that with rewards and giveaways, and we should have double drops and stuff. So that'll help people with their Inquisitors or Jabba or whatever they're working on right now. That's always a good time. You get good stuff. And then the holidays, Christmas. And then the holidays for Christmas, they always do, all the events are there. So you can just go in and knock out all those events because you get tons of them. They did that last year. It was pretty nice. And
yeah, every year for Christmas, they arrange all the events on the same day, on Christmas Day for us.
Yeah, and then that whole week up to New Year's, a little bit past New Year's, you get like multiple events every day. They just keep cycling through.
All the assault battles come through.
Yeah, all the assault battles and stuff like that. Yeah, so you get a lot of goodies from that too. So
I think they're probably all filming a video, and they're probably actually all preparing some sort of State of the Galaxy and explanation. So they're probably all the stuff we're speculating on during this call. They're probably off preparing a thing on that. That's why they've been so quiet, but it has certainly dropped off.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but hey, listen, we're just here to see what we see, and that's it. So I don't get anything else for you. All right, we're going to start wrapping it up. So I'm going to do my GAC. We're going to flip over there. So yeah, but hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all this stuff. Join me over on Twitch. We're going to go right into GAC over there. But before we do, we got to let Aldous pimp his stuff. before we go? All this working these fine folks and fellas and ladies to check you out.
Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch, where we do the GACs, and then some content on YouTube. Welcome to Sandflies.
All right. And then BCM, you started doing a little streaming, and we're going to be doing some Old Republic here soon.
Yep. Well, you can find me on Twitch. Big Country Mags over there on Twitch. So
yeah. There you go. All right. With that, we're going to wrap it up. Good day. Glad to have you guys here with us. Glad to have you guys aboard. Appreciate all you. And give me a couple minutes and we'll get Twitch running. So head over onto Twitch. It's linked in the description. Make sure you check out these fine content creators, support their stuff. As I always say, they take the time to come here on a Saturday morning, well, Saturday afternoon for all this, but still, he's coming here on his own time to answer questions and help you guys out with the game. And you know, the least you can do is go visit his channel and show him a little bit of love. That's the easiest way to show some love to a content creator, is watch your stuff, interact with it. That just, it all adds up. Every little bit helps. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. So thank you for joining us today, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna go flip over to Twitch and continue this on with some GAC, and then we'll see where the world takes us. And then I'll be offline because I got to get ready for this lower recording that I'm doing today. So thank you guys so much for being here. Very much appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. And if I don't see you soon, see you where I see you.